I think the time has finally come for us to actually build out something nice for once. So let's look at borders, and we're gonna create a nice looking button for once, okay? So by default, if you're gonna put a button on the screen, let's say sign up, it's gonna look so ugly. Take a look at that. What is that? Get it off my screen, please. That looks terrible. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at a few properties that we can add to this to make it look very beautiful. So we can get the button here like this. And first of all, what I wanna do is make this a bit larger, all right? Because right now it doesn't look that good. Okay, so what we can do is we can add maybe some padding and some margin to this. So first of all, I want to just add some margin so it's not stuck up there in the corner. So let's do something like, let's do 10 rems, okay? And hit save. All right, so it's a bit kind of there. 20, okay, there we go. So we have the button positioned there. Perfect. So next, what I want to do is add some padding to this because the button right now is kind of small. So the way we can do that is we can say padding. And we can add a padding of, let's experiment, top and bottom. I don't want it to be that high, so I want to say 2 rem. And on the left and right, let's try 4 rem. Okay, that looks way better. Perfect. Let me zoom in actually a bit. Actually, no, that's fine. Okay, so there we go. We have that. Now what I want to do is get rid of that background color because, oh my goodness, it's ugly. So the way we can get rid of it is we can say background color and we can say none. And as you can see, that doesn't work. So the one we actually need to use here is background. And when we hit save, it's gonna get rid of it. Perfect, but we still have this ugly border on top. So to remove that, we can just say border and we can say none. And that's gonna remove the border as well. However, if we wanna have the border and we wanna change it, here what we can do is we can add a size to it. So I can say 0.1 rem. And I can say, so this is the first property, the size. The second is gonna be solid, which we're gonna take a look at it in a bit. And the third one is gonna be the color. So I can say blue and hit save. And as you can see, we have it right there. Now let's change this blue color to something, let's also increase this a bit like that. And let's change this color. If we hover over it, sometimes it doesn't wanna work. But let's get a nicer blue color, or like a purplish. Something like that, a bit more vibrant. Let's add some color to this. Okay, perfect. So there we go. Okay, so this is the size, this is the color, but what is this? Well, solid makes the whole border full. There are a few other ones here that we can experiment, which is gonna be, and the cool thing that you can do is sometimes just type like this. And sometimes it can give you, sometimes it cannot. I believe when you first start typing like this, solid, let's see, all right. And then we have, I believe it only gives you the colors, unfortunately. But there's one called dotted, like this. And as you can see, that just adds dots to it. There's also ones that add lines to it, but generally, to be honest, you're rarely gonna use these. I mean, if you find some edge cases where you want to add dots to your buttons or just border dots for some reason, but it looks like something from the 90s. So I'm just going to keep it solid here. And mostly you're probably going to have solid borders anyways. Okay, so we added a border of solid here. Okay, next up, what I want to do is I want to change the color of this text as well. So we can say color. And we can say, we can actually just copy paste this color from up here. Save, and there we go. We can also adjust the font size a bit. Font size, 1 rem. There we go. Oh, that's gonna be 10. So let's do maybe 2.4. Is that gonna be too large? No, that's gonna be fine. So there we go. We have a nice looking button going on here. There's another property that I want to cover. Maybe you want to make these edges round a bit. You don't want this to be so boxy. So what we can do is add a border radius to this. And by adding a border radius, we can smooth this out and we can make it rounder. So if I add something like 1 rem, that's going to add 16 pixels of border radius to this. 10 pixels, I apologize. We have this HTML thing here that makes 1 rem 10 pixels, okay? So there we go. That makes it look way, way nicer. If you want to add specifically maybe to the top left or bottom left a border radius, you can also do border. Let's do left, top left radius. All right, so this is going to be this one, top left, and you can add 2 rem here. So as you can see, that's going to make it even rounder for you. So there we go. So you can do top left, you can do top right, bottom left, bottom right. But this kind of adds it to all of it, which mostly this is what you're going to use anyway. If you want to make this perfectly round, what you can do is add 50%. So 50% is going to make it round. Now it's not round here because the element size also needs to be round. So this kind of looks rectangular right now, but what we need here is to have a perfect square for this to be round. So if I just set a height of 5 rem here and a width of 5 rem, I think we need a bit more. That's too small. So let's do 10 and 10. Is that too small? Let's do 20 and 20. All right, so there we go. So if the element is way larger here, and if we set the border radius to 50, then we are gonna get a perfect circle. Awesome. So let's remove these for now. And what I wanna do is also show you something else. So let's change this back. I believe we had 1 rem. We can also change this button if we want to make it full. We can add a background of this color that we had up here. So let's add this color up here. But now the problem is that the text is okay, we cannot see the text. So we need to change this to white. So there are 2, all right, not to color, to white. All right, so there's 2 different styles of buttons there for you if you want to experiment. But yeah, that's how you can create a simple, nice looking button.